This video will show teachers how to use McGraw-Hill in Canvas. So when you open up ClassLink and click on McGraw-Hill, you will have access to your platform. So you can click on that and it will eventually load up and sign in. And you'll see all of the different courses that you have current with McGraw-Hill. You can also get to the same screen by clicking on the McGraw-Hill button over here, which you can publish in your Canvas courses. Reminder that you need to go to Settings and then Navigation, drag that button up, save it at the bottom, and then that button will be available for both you and your students. Again, you can click this button to access the platform, but it just brings you to a generic space. So you might be thinking, how can I get my students to a specific part of the textbook or a resource that is in the platform? And I'm going to show you how you can use the different pieces of their Canvas integration to do just that. So the first place that you'll want to go is click on Modules, and then next to the plus sign for Modules, click on the three dots, and there is a McGraw-Hill LTI link, grades and assignments button here. And the very first time you click on it, it is going to ask you to pair your classes and activate your account, basically connecting the two services together. The first time that you open it up, it's going to ask you if you have paired sections or not, which means what you need to do is say, I've got this day 1, block 3 section. I'm going to pair it. And then I have to pair the class with the class that is my active Canvas course. In this case, it would be this human geography section right here. So I'm going to click on Select. And then I'm going to save my pairings. Once I've done that, I can click on Launch. If you have multiple sections of geography, you're going to want to click on the button that says Create Primary Section, but because this teacher only has one section, we don't need to do that. Essentially what that allows you to do if you create a primary section is it allows you to use a cross-listed course or a course with multiple sections in it and really treat it as one course when you're assigning content to students. So I'm going to click on Launch now. And then from there, I've got some options. I can sync assignments that I've already created in McGraw-Hill. Let's say I got started using McGraw-Hill and didn't know that I could sync over assignments to Canvas. I could click on Sync Assignments, and any assignments in the McGraw-Hill platform will automatically have assignments created for them in Canvas. Those would be graded assignments. Or I can go to the pre-built assignments or create my own custom assignments. I'm going to go to the pre-built assignments. And from there, it brings you into the text. And what I can do is browse this course and I can see more specific topics. And then whenever I come back to this tool, it's going to remember where I was and bring me right back to that spot. So let's say we're doing topic 4, population geography. And I want to look at the very first introducing population geography. I can click on that. And then what I have are the different resources that are available in here. So most of the time you're going to either use the lesson resources or pre-assessment resources. They also have Spanish resources and teacher added resources, I think, are ones that you create. So the teacher planning ones probably aren't going to be ones you assign to students, obviously. So I'll click on lesson resources. And then what I can do is I can scroll through here. We've got the student interactive ebook lessons. We have a Kahoot activity, primary source activity that we can assign. And in this case, I'm just going to assign the student ebook lesson 1. And I've got 2 buttons here. If I click on Assign, I am creating an assignment that students will complete and earn points. The scores that they get for this would pass back to Canvas, and there would be a column in a gradebook for the assignment. You could choose to make that assignment worth 0% of the grade or make it worth credit. We also have the Deploy button. The Deploy button allows you to link directly to this resource, but it's not going to create a column in the gradebook or an assignment for students to complete. It's simply going to just give them a link that takes them directly to that resource found on the online platform for McGraw-Hill. So I'll click on Assign, and then I can choose my due date, I can choose my point value, I can allow late submissions or not. By default, it is unchecked. I can give additional instructions. You can see the number of pages. I can also select specific pages out of this. I can choose whether it's graded, ungraded, or extra credit. Assignment visibility, we're going to leave it visible, and we're going to copy it to my Canvas course here. Then we are ready to click on Assign. You'll notice that the screen kind of just paused for a moment, and I waited for a few seconds, and then what it did is at the very bottom of your modules page is it created new content from app module right here, and it added this activity right in here. I can click on it. It's going to take a moment to link this. So if you see this broken link, you just want to wait a minute perhaps, and then it will work. One other thing to note is that if you want to add multiple things at the same time, which I'm going to demonstrate here, if I wanted to assign multiple things at the same time, instead of just assigning one assignment and then having to go back in, you can also go to the very top here where it says Assign instead of navigating to the piece you want and then clicking Assign. So if I click Assign, then what I can do is go through the lesson resources, and let's say I want to assign these two items here, and I want to do this primary source document, and then what I can do is scroll down to the bottom and hit Continue, and then it will do that same process. Takes a little bit of time for those things to be created. You give it the due dates and points and things. When you click Assign, it's going to create those things in Canvas. And again, it's going to just pause here for a moment. It's going to retrieve that content. And then when I scroll to the bottom of my modules page, you'll see it made a new module. So every time I import, it does that. And it has those 3 assignments available in it. Now, let's say I just wanted to give students the ebook and I didn't want to have an assignment created or have it worth points or anything like that. What I can do is go up to the same spot, and I can either deploy at the top so I can select multiple items, or I can go to individual items and deploy them. So again, let's just say I want to just do the interactive ebook here for the students. Scroll to the bottom, click on Continue, and you'll notice it didn't bring up that assignment setting section. At the very bottom, I just have a link here to the ebook in that very specific section. So those are the main ways that you can use the Canvas integration with McGraw-Hill.